Hello everyone and good day. This is Fred with Wentworth CCTV of New England, and we are coming at you today with a video that is subscriber requested. Okay, it's a scenario somebody experienced in the field, and they're looking for assistance. This is something, in fact, that I've experienced in the field as well. Okay, it's where we have a Hikvision camera, an IP camera that we're trying to install, but the recorder is not Hikvision. It might be Honeywell. It could be Lorex. It could be a private label ONVIF NVR. And for whatever reason, the camera won't connect with the recorder. The recorder won't see it. There's a simple reason for this. By default, Hikvision cameras have the ONVIF platform shut off. So we need to learn how to go in and open that protocol so the camera will connect with the recorder. It could also be reversed, the scenario. We may have a Hikvision recorder, right, with a private label ONVIF camera, and we want them to communicate using the ONVIF protocol. The way to accomplish this is the same, and we're going to cover it right now. Alright, so let's get into the meat and potatoes. Before we start, there's a red subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Please subscribe to our channel if you have not done so, so you'll be informed when we upload future content. So the first thing we're going to do, obviously, and there's a link above for a video on this process, we're going to have to connect the camera to the NVR or PoE switch, and we do that using a Cat5e or Cat6 internet cable. So we are going to do that. We're going to employ the camera, and we're also going to, the NVR has an LAN port, we're going to hook that up to an internet source so we can do this demonstration on the laptop.
All right, so as you can see, we have pulled up this camera using the Hikvision SADP tool. The camera is a brand new camera. It's plugged into a PoE switch, and it's showing up under Hikvision's default IP address of 192.168.164. If you are not familiar with the SADP tool, there is a video link above right now that walks you through how to download this tool and what it's used for. But right now we're going to use it for locating the camera on the network and activating the camera. Under the status, you'll see this camera shows inactive status. It hasn't been activated. So to activate it, we simply have to put in a administrative password. This should be 8 digits. It can be a combination of numbers and letters. So we'll go ahead and do that now. And once we put in this password, you'll see the status will change to active. Okay. It's going to bring you to a GUID menu, where you can put answers to passwords to reset the camera's password in the event you forget what the administrative password is. There's another link above right now that walks you through what to do in the event you lose your password or forget your password. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on this particular subject right now. We're going to cancel out of here. But you can reference that video if you have questions about that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put this camera in DHCP mode. Basically, what that does is it allows the routing device on your network to give the camera a favorable IP address, something that is open in the network. So to do this, we're going to click Enable DHCP, and we're going to enter the administrative password we just created. All right, so we'll do that. And what we'll see, the camera here has an IP address of 192.168.164. That is the default IP address that Hikvision cameras are shipped with. By switching it now to DHCP, you'll see this IP address change to something that's on my gateway. Our gateway here is 192.168.0.1, and as you can see, it just changed to 0.28. So that is a favorable IP address for this camera, and that is what we're going to use now to pull the camera up and open the ONVIF protocol with using Internet Explorer, Edge, Firefox. We're going to open a browser and do that right now.
All right, so what we are going to do now is pull up this camera using the IP address that we discovered using the SADP tool. And we know that to be 192.168.0.28. And we will log into this camera using the credentials that we just created. Once we're in, we're going to go to the configuration tab, okay? And when we're in the configuration tab, the first thing we want to do is go to the network settings, okay? Everything we're going to do is right here in this network tab. We're going to click network, and we're going to make sure that DHCP is shut off. If you remember previously, we used the SADP tool to activate the camera. When we did that, we put the camera into DHCP mode to get a favorable IP address from your routing device. Okay, once that's done, you want to make sure this DHCP box is unchecked. Okay, when it's checked, DHCP is on, like that. When it's unchecked, it is not on. Okay, so we want no check there, and we just want to hit save. Okay, depending on your camera, it may or may not tell you the camera has to reboot. If it has to reboot, that's fine, right? That's not an issue. But what this video is really about is turning on the ONVIF protocol to allow the Hikvision IP camera to connect to any other manufacturer's recorder. Okay, we want to hook it to another recorder that is in the ONVIF protocol, which most of them are, right? So we're going to go again to the network tab here. I move my face over to the right so you could see this good. And right here you will see advanced settings. We're going to click the advanced settings, okay? And up top you will see a menu bar. Okay, you can set your email for alerts. The platform access is for HIK Connect. But the very last option, it says integration protocol. Okay. And here is where the gold part is. Enable ONVIF. That's what we wanted to learn in this video. We're going to enable it. Once it's enabled, hey, this camera can connect to just about any recorder out there. We are going to have to add a username and password for the ONVIF protocol. Myself, I always use the same password as the camera itself. It gets really confusing when you have a bunch of usernames and passwords for each device, and it's easy for people to forget. So for that purpose, I use the same. I'm going to use the same username and password that we use to log into the camera, right? And lastly, for security level, we're going to pick administrator. And working with this in the field, I have discovered sometimes you can use user, sometimes you can use operator, and the camera will connect to some NVRs. For example, Honeywell, I've noticed that it does. Other manufacturers, it has to be the administrator level. So to save yourself some time, just click administrator to begin with, and you shouldn't have any issues. Okay, so we're going to hit OK. This save was successful, and this camera right now is set up with ONVIF enabled, and we can go ahead and connect it to any recorder that is in the ONVIF platform. Which I said is the majority of them. Hopefully this video was useful. Please like it if it was useful. Leave comments. We told you this content was requested by a subscriber having an issue doing exactly this. Without that comment, we wouldn't have made this video. And lastly, subscribe to our channel. There is a red subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner of the screen if you haven't done so. And we will see you in the field.